And if you do end up watching the new video blog, which is dropping today or tomorrow on YouTube, on my Carl Trump Tech YouTube, you will see this very Instagram moment because I am recording it. What's up, everybody? It's Carl, aka Carl Trump Tech. I'm here right now in Beverly Hills, California, as usual. It is my lunch break, so this is my opportunity to put out another YouTube video. And today I want to talk about, first of all, I just want to acknowledge that it was really cool coming out to a DCI show for the first time in several years. You know, I've been out of the game for the last couple of years, but ever since I started Carl Trump Tech, I figure I need to be out to these events. I need to see what's going on with the activity, and it was just really fun to kind of like, you know, be in the lot again and hang out and meet people that I marched with, or new people who I knew, acquaintances, things like that, and also get to meet some of you guys. You know, I got to meet some people who just came up to me and said, you know, hey, I watch your YouTube videos all the time, or they took pictures with me and just, you know, just to meet me and stuff like that. That was really cool. So that's a really good opportunity for me to meet you guys. So if you ever see me in an event, whether that's DCI, WGI, indoor percussion, marching band, if you do see me, please take the opportunity to say hi. I really do appreciate that, and I just want to meet as many of you guys as possible. So what I want to talk about today, speaking of getting back into it, it's really cool to kind of like, you know, see the activity again the way I used to, in terms of just like being into it, being a fan, and you know, also analyzing it from a, you know, as if I was kind of still in it, teaching DCI and things like that. But it's also cool to kind of relive all the knowledge that I have about, you know, a lot of my favorite groups, including today. I just want to go over one of my favorites, the Santa Clara Vanguard. And what I love about the Santa Clara Vanguard is the tradition of, you know, what they've built over the years. I mean, you're talking about, you know, guys like Fred Sanford, you know, Gail Royer, the legendary like first director of the Santa Clara Vanguard. You're talking about like the star that they wear in the uniforms. You're talking about the Aussie hats that they wear with the feather, right? And it's just that typical like red, green, white, Christmassy colors that the Santa Clara Vanguard has been known for over the years. And we're talking about some of the most iconic shows in DCI history. I mean, you know, the first time I ever heard Fiddler on the Roof, Miss Saigon, you know, Phantom of the Opera, the first time I ever heard those, you know, pieces, honestly, was because of the Santa Clara Vanguard. And then from then on, you know, I went on to see the original, you know, art where Santa Clara derived it from, you know, to see Phantom of the Opera and Miss Saigon and things like that, and have a really profound appreciation for it, because I'm thinking, I saw this as a Santa Clara Vanguard show first. Wow, now I get to see where this came from. So it was really cool to kind of, you know, see it that way, in that Santa Clara Vanguard introduced me to these like amazing works of art. So, you know, and then, but we're just talking also about like some of the best drum lines, you know, in the world throughout the history of DCI. You're talking about these Fred Sanford lines. You're talking about these, you know, Ralph Hardiman drum lines. And I don't know if you guys knew it or not, but there was a time when Scott Johnson also taught at the Santa Clara Vanguard. And, you know, the reason why when he was with Yamaha, with the Blue Devils, why they started using the deep shell tenors is because the time he was at the Santa Clara Vanguard, when they used the deep shell pearls, he kind of liked it, and it was like, don't quote me, all right? So this is kind of what I've heard, right? So you can ask Scott Johnson, but you know, this is why he started using the deep dish tenors on the Yamahas, because he really liked it at the Vanguard with the deep dish pearls, all right? So thank you, Scott Johnson, for making the quads a lot heavier for us. Just kidding. Anyways, so I mean, you know, let's just talk about the drum lines, right? It's like, you know, I've had some friends, I've had former students march to Vanguard, and it's just like, you know, whenever they do march, it's like a great year for Santa Clara Vanguard drum lines. You know, you're talking about like the high percussion lines of 98. You know, 2004. friends who marched 98. I have a former student who marched 2004, winning high drums. Some of the cleanest, most musical drum lines, you know, I've ever seen and heard, you know, and those are Jim Casella drum lines, right? Jim Casella marched Santa Clara Vanguard and all that stuff, and you know, he ended up teaching over there as well, obviously, and writing for them. Some of the best, coolest writing I've ever seen and heard. Just all around good stuff, right? So Santa Clara is known for all this stuff, right? All this like tradition, all these cool drum lines, you know, good shows. So there's just so much to it. There's so much to be, you know, there's so much reasons to be a fan of SCV. You know, the cymbal lines, oh my gosh, you know, when you think cymbal line, you like back in the day, I don't know if it is now, but you always think Santa Clara Vanguard, like the dopest cymbal lines out there, you know, just these intense, badass, buff guys manipulating these heavy pieces of metallic, you know, equipment and instruments that just adds to the whole mystique of the Vanguard, right? So, but the thing that kind of like, you know, the reason why I kind of want to bring all this up again is just like, you know, tradition is such a huge deal, you know, in any society, in any part of history. You know, it just kind of reminds you of where you came from, you know, what your identity is built around, and just having that familiarity of having things be the same year in and year out, year in and year out. There's something to be said about that, and there's something good about that, right? But, you know, this is the first time where I've seen the Vanguard, you know, like have something completely different in terms of their uniforms, right? You know, it almost has like this, like, you know, indoor percussion kind of feel, or color, you know, the winter guard kind of feel. They don't have the Aussie hats, they don't have the feather, they do have the star, but you have that form-fitting uniform that is more costume-like, right? So there's a lot of old school cats who are not into it, okay? They're like, truth be told, there's definitely some, you know, resistance to that kind of change. While, you know, there is definitely still some love, you know, with the, not just with the Vanguard, but there's so many other drum corps that are switching over and trying and experimenting different types of uniforms, you know, to kind of complement what their show is doing. Very similar to, like I said, to Winter Guard or Winter Percussion. So what I just want to say is just my take on like the whole tradition thing, and, you know, like where we should be at in terms of just, you know, how we accept these changes. Number one, first of all, yes, I do appreciate tradition. I do appreciate the old school style of the Vanguard. Frankly, I will never get over that. I'm always gonna be like, dude, I love the old school uniforms. You know, just when you think of drum corps, you think like traditional, you know, marching band style uniforms, but with a little twist, right? A little bit more edgy than the normal, you know, marching band uniforms. That is what I think of when I think of drum corps, is that style uniform. But what I'm seeing now is like, you know, a more, it's a change towards something more that is similar to Winter Guard and Winter Percussion, and at the same time, it's also very functional, right? It's like, you know, with the kind of movements that these performers are doing nowadays compared to the old school cats is so completely, you know, like just transcendent, and just like they do so much more than what we used to do back in my day when we used to march, right? So much more dance, so much more movement, so much more athleticism involved. Not to say that there wasn't any athleticism involved in the old school days, but just it seems like these new uniforms are more conducive towards that type of movement. So what I say is, change is good no matter what. Some people aren't gonna like it, and there's a reason why people don't like it, right? It's because people like consistency. People like to see things the same, you know, year in, year out. People like that predictability. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're somebody who is not open to it, like, you gotta be like, it's all good, it's cool, change is good. Maybe you don't like it, but you gotta applaud the Vanguard, a group that has so much tradition, a group that is just like year in, year out. They have this identity built around their traditions, right? It's like, it's all good if people try to innovate and try to change and try to just like experiment. You know, maybe it's an experiment, maybe it's not. Maybe this really is like the movement of where everything is going, but you just kind of have to be open to that kind of change. And I'm sure I'm speaking to the choir with a lot of you guys, but you know, I think it's just really important to put that out there, that there is a lot of resistance, and you have to also understand, sorry, there's like a lot of bugs here. You just have to understand the perspective of some of these older cats who have been, you know, who know drum corps for what it is and what it's been, to respect their point of view if they are kind of like, you know, well, yeah, I don't like that. Now, sometimes they're kind of dicks about it. Sometimes they're not very nice about it, and they'll say some mean things. But you kind of have to see where they're coming from so you don't get offended by it if you somehow get offended if you see that kind of thing. Or if you're in one of the, if you're in a Vanguard, if you're in the Madison Scouts who have some, like new style uniforms as well, like you don't get offended if people talk bad about it because you see where they're coming from, right? So, and also, if you are like an old school person who is very resistant to this kind of change and you don't like it, it's okay not to like it, right? We all are entitled to our opinions. I personally think I'd love to see drum corps stick to that tradition of just, setting itself apart about what it's supposed to look like. But I get it, right? It's like you want to change, you want to try something different, and you want to do something that's a little bit more practical to what the students are doing these days. That's totally cool too, and I'm all with that. Whatever anybody wants to do, just do it, okay? No matter what anybody thinks, no matter what I think, do your thing, be you, be innovative, try some different things, and if people hate on it, it's fine, let them hate. You know where they're coming from, you know why they're hating, it's okay, and just accept everything for what it is. It's gonna help you out in life, it's gonna help you out in drum corps, and hopefully that kind of mindset will help you out when you watch this video, and you can take these concepts throughout the rest of your life. All right, cool. So thank you guys so much if you've been watching. I would really appreciate it if you like this video. Please hit that like button. If you would like to share this video and you think somebody else could find this interesting, entertaining, informative, thought-provoking, please share this video with them on all your social media platforms. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what the heck are you waiting for? Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. I really appreciate it if you guys are watching, and if you guys have made it this far, I really do appreciate it. So so that I know that you made it this far, make sure you comment down below Vanguard. That's it. All right, cool. Peace out. I'll see you guys next time, and catch you later. Bonus round. All right. This is a bummer, but I will do this. So somebody had asked, can you break down Flam Fives? So I'm gonna break that down for you guys right now. All right, here we go. So Flam Fives, one of the most difficult rudiments to learn in my opinion, but let's give it a shot, okay? So there's 3 components you need to have in order to have Flam Fives. Good accent tap separation, okay? Good flam accents, good fives, good cheeses, okay, and then all together, you're gonna have some Flam Fives. Okay, so I think it all starts with, making sure, all right, like I said, work on your accent tap separation. If that's good, work on good flam accent quality. And then work on your cheeses, that's gonna be huge. Okay, so if you need to do it slow, do it really slow at first. Okay, and then after that, you're just adding one more diddle. It's not a cheese, not a flam, just after that cheese, chugga digga da. That's it, right? Chugga digga da, chugga digga da, chugga digga da, chugga digga da. And just do it really slow. I'm sure a lot of people just try to just crush through it. But I think there's something to be said about just trying to play it really slow at first. Chugga digga da, chugga digga da, chugga digga da, chugga digga da, and try to play it faster from there. Chugga digga da, chugga digga da, chugga digga da, chugga digga da, until you can do. Okay, so try that out. Work on each element. Make sure they're solid. Try it slow. Okay, so just really work on sticking every single note. Chugga digga da, chugga digga da. Then work your way up from there, and then you'll have Flam Fives. Here's the key. Okay, I'm gonna bring the camera up to my face so you understand. It's not gonna happen overnight, okay? So take your time. It's gonna take a while. It's gonna take many hours of just shedding with your pad, with your sticks, over and over again until you finally get it. But you're not gonna get it the next day. You're not gonna get it in a week. You may not even get it after a month. But as long as those elements are solid and you work on each thing, you're gonna get it at some point. Just don't give up. Keep working on it, work on your quality, and then bam, before you know it, you'll have it. But you're just not gonna have it tomorrow. All right, cool. Thanks, peace out, and I'll see you next time.